I made a loop bag without any loop yarn, cause you really don't need it. So I've been leaning into dopamine core recently and I stumbled upon this picture on my Pinterest. Some people might find it uncomfortable, but I love it. Also, I wasn't able to find the creator of the bag, so if you know, comment down below. Now moving on to actually making the bag. I used 400 grams of this plush yarn, details in caption. This is the weight 6 yarn. I would have preferred to go heavier, but this is the thickest I could find. Now the way I constructed the bag was making a base and then building upwards. This is how my base looked like. Now to create the loop effect, you're essentially going to be crocheting normally, but before you enter the next stitch, you're going to grab a little yarn with your thumb and that creates the loop. Now just go over this yarn and enter the stitch and single crochet as normal. What you need to focus on is maintaining a good tension on both the loop you formed as well as the working yarn. This is how my first row ended up looking. I was halfway through and the loops were coming out pretty okay, but the bag had no structure. I wasn't sure if it was gonna work out. Also, important thing to note, you want to crochet around the bag. You don't want to end up turning your project. Here's what I mean. The loops only appear on one side of the bag. In our case, we're pulling the thumb and the yarn to create the loop towards ourselves. Now, if you turn your work, your loops would still be on the outside, but you're working from the inside, in which case you'd have to pull the thumb away from yourself. I eventually had to use this method for making the handles of the bag, but for the body, switching up your muscle memory every alternate row is honestly unnecessary and can be quite time consuming. Now the bag had to be a triangle, but I was too lazy to follow a pattern, so I started decreasing randomly. And I've learned random is not that great. The bag essentially just became a little slanted. But I was somewhat happy with the body, so it was time to add the handles. I placed the stitch markers and started crocheting upwards from one side. I did the same for the other side and planned to join them in the middle, so it was practically done. Okay, now for the reveal. I got like 5 crochet zoomies wearing this. I love it so much. I'm gonna put this on my wall. The only concern is that it's almost like a mesh bag, so I'm planning to glue/stiffen the insides and then line it. So let me know if you want to watch part 2.